Hi, my name is Morgan Schneider. I took a class called Sustainable Development and Adaptive Resource Management in the Field, the Costa Rican Experience, through the University of Colorado, Denver, Maymester 2013. A little bit about myself. I am an undergrad senior at the University of Colorado, Denver, studying geography with a concentration in environmental science, and I'm also receiving my GIS certificate. Reasons I wanted to take this class: I wanted to put to use some of the things that I've been learning. I wanted to see firsthand about sustainable development. I also wanted to go to the biological station, La Silva Biological Station, and as well as I'm very interested in animals and the environment, as well as I enjoy traveling and meeting new people and experiencing new cultures. Conservation and biodiversity. Being at the La Silva Biological Station, I was able to see firsthand the different types of research projects being conducted. Some of these projects have been going on at La Silva for 20 to 30 years. The great thing about that is those studies give us irrefutable data to how our world is changing and the need to act now. Also at La Silva, they are part of one of the only corridors for animals, and recently the director, Carlos de la Rosa, has applied for a grant to incorporate the river as a corridor as well, paying farmers to allow a certain amount of land on each side of the river so that the animals can use that as a corridor and pass back and forth. There is also a program in Costa Rica that pays for environmental services. It pays landowners to keep their land forested. They can go as far as targeting specific land to help limit fragmentation and increase green space and corridors for many animals and birds that use them. Sustainable development, sustainable farming, renewable energies, ecotourism. For farming, we visited Don Carlos's farm. It was incredible since at a young age he was taught by his grandfather and his father that there was a need to protect the environment, to use it but with respect and without destroying it for others to come. By taking the methane from the manure, he is able to process cheese for sale to local pizzerias. And with the manure, he uses it as a fertilizer, which in turn requires less pesticides and other treatments for the cows. His cows tend to be happier. The veterinarian doesn't have to come out and administer antibiotics because his cows don't get sick. He also plants trees on the backside of his property, which also houses a multitude of birds, further helping by eating the insects, which also then creates less need for pesticides, as well as giving another ecosystem a chance right there on the backside of his farm. For renewable energies, the majority of Costa Rica's power comes from hydroelectric power plants, as well as other renewable energies such as wind farms, and they are also looking into using solar energy. By using renewable energies, they are able to keep costs down for their citizens, and also by keeping harm down to the environment. There are so many animals, plants, and insects that are endemic to Costa Rica. It's so important to find different ways of living with less impact so that those creatures can survive. So many Costa Ricans are aware of this importance and are trying to inform much of the world by being an example. Ecotourism is a fastly growing industry in Costa Rica. There are schools directly training guides and naturalists for ecotourism jobs. By using the beauty of the country and making so many people aware of the environment's importance, to create jobs is extremely important. A systems thinking approach. We need to make changes. Everything is connected, and because of that, the way we are living as humans, we're affecting all other organisms. For example, when we stop caring about that a tree won't grow when the soil becomes too warm, we are causing a ripple effect on the organisms that depend upon that tree, along with the fact that it won't grow, it won't produce seeds, pollinators can't eat and disperse those seeds, the tree will eventually die, and eventually all of the species of that tree will become extinct. The animals, birds, insects, and other plants depending on the tree are also affected, and great possibility that their populations will also decline. And those organisms might be vital for other animals, other plants, other insects, along with they might also be crucial to our survival as well. All of this is done solely because the Earth's temperature is rising, because we are increasing our fossil fuel consumption and not being aware of our effects, and we're not acting upon those effects. The Earth will become sustainable one way or another. It's just a matter if we'll be around to enjoy it as well. So it's very important that we take action immediately. And by being in Costa Rica, it was really evident that so many people care about the environment, care about what is going to happen, and are taking action now to help mitigate those so they're possibly not as horrible in the future. As well as it was so evident, I think, to me as well as everybody else on the trip, how important nature was, how beautiful, and how wonderful it just made you feel being out enjoying it. So it was a wonderful trip. As well as a person, I think I grew. I had a greater appreciation for the things back at home. But also I realized as well that so many things in my life that are really not necessary, and kind of made me realize some of the stuff that I dwell upon or perhaps really think is important really is not that important, in that I kind of just need to readjust my thinking sometimes. So it was definitely a wake-up call as well.